Hello and welcome. My name is Angela Lauria. I am the founder of the Author Incubator, and I am joined today by one of our incubated authors, Edna Ness. Edna, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm very excited for the opportunity to talk about this book. We publish a lot of books, but we don't have a lot of books quite like this one. The word radical is in the title, and there's a lot that's radical about what you put on the table in this book. So tell us about radical recovery after chemo and radiation.
Well, this is a story that chronicles my husband's journey through stage 4 throat cancer and his healing. And what we learned through it all is, you hear about people going through cancer treatment, and when somebody says, "Oh, they're all done with treatment," you think, "Oh, great.
There's
They're
usually
doing
they're
good.
toasting. There's a picture on Facebook.
Treatment's
Everyone's
done
celebrating.
and all is good."
Yeah.
And what we found was that's not really how it is. So once you get out of treatment, or for my husband's situation, he was very, very damaged. So he had a huge tumor in his throat that was choking him. And he had to have, surgery was not an option, so he had to have a lot of radiation and chemotherapy. And he
To try and shrink the tumor?
Yes, to shrink the tumor. And he ended up very burned and
because they are radiating you.
Oh, absolutely. And I had no idea radiation is every day for 33 treatments. So you are burned inside and out, basically. And he had to be fed by tube, and it was a lot of work on my part and a lot of pain on his part.
Yeah.
So what we realized is that there's traditional treatment for cancer, but there's really no standard of care afterwards to help you to heal.
Right.
And we were pretty lost, and he was devastated. And so this book is about helping people to have hope for their healing. And what we found was by using some alternative modalities, we were able to get him a pretty, I'd say he says 90% healing, which is amazing for someone with throat cancer. So typically,
well, and particularly stage 4, because the word stage 4 is always followed by there is no stage 5.
Yes.
So the stage 4 cancer that he faced, it sounds like you went for a pretty traditional treatment path. You went with what?
Yes. So
what was prescribed?
We had no choice. So surgery wasn't an option. He basically, when we went in for treatment, they said they didn't think he'd live through the weekend. So that kind of changed my view as far as people say, well, they only have 6 months to live.
Right.
Well, geez, they've got time.
Right, that feels like, all right, yeah, lots of.
When they say, not sure you're going to make it through the weekend, you pay attention.
Yeah, that'll get your attention.
Really came very close to dying.
So I think so much focus on cancer is about the type of treatment, right, and nobody thinks about what happens after.
Correct.
It just seems like you're going to get through the treatment, and then
things are all
right,
fine and dandy.
So your approach, I mean, or maybe people, I don't know, have soup or something, but like your approach to the healing process, the subtitle is Extraordinary Healing with Oxygen and Light. That's what I think is radical about this. So where does oxygen and light come in, and why are you, how did you end up here?
Well, I've been in the healing arts for about 15 years. And I've always, when I've had issues, I've always researched out how can I heal myself, or how can I feel better using alternative treatments.
Love it.
And so I had been using light therapy for over 13 years.
And we're talking about infrared
light therapy, and then oxygen. So oxygen and light are our primal nutrients. I mean, if we don't have oxygen, we die. And so it's everything for healing. You have to have oxygen for healing. And so, knowing about that, we started using oxygen, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, and light therapy, which is also a primal nutrient. We all love the sun. It makes us feel good. It helps us to heal. So my husband was getting in an oxygen chamber twice a day when he was done with treatment. And it's been over 2 years now, and he has his salivary glands back. He's got his taste buds back. He can eat anything he wants. He's got full use of his tongue and his swallowing. He has no scar tissue in his neck. You would never know that he
I was going to
had.
say, what do the doctors think? Is this a normal recovery that they see for people with the kind of cancer and the aggressiveness?
No, it is not a normal healing from throat cancer. Of course, everyone is different, and his was extreme, definitely extreme, because his tumor was so large. So he had a large area that was radiated,
Mm-hmm.
and he has gotten additional healing. Usually, they say after 1 year you have what you have, and he's gotten additional healing even after 2 years.
And continues
So,
to
and
use the oxygen and light.
yes,
So
he doesn't want it coming back.
yeah.
So not only does it help you to heal, but it also helps you to not have a reoccurrence.
And so this book is really for people who maybe have had chemo, have had radiation, but you have a practice in light and oxygen.
Yes. So
that goes beyond chemo. So talk a little bit
Yes.
about you, your background, what you do.
So we have a healing center that primarily focuses on hyperbaric oxygen therapy, light therapy, whole body vibration, diet, yoga, movement, all the things that our bodies need to be healthy. And we work with healthy people, and we work with very sick people and people with brain trauma. Across the board, anybody can come and see us and get some kind of benefit. But
Of all the things you could have written about, because I know you've seen a range of conditions that
Yes.
are helped with the treatments that you guys do, why did you pick this one?
because it was so close to my heart at the time.
Mm.
I wrote the book partially as a cathartic book to heal from my year of nursing him and to help others understand that part. And because I think it's something that's not talked a lot about as far as healing after cancer. People think that they just have to accept the damage that is in their body.
Well, and also the role that caregivers play
That's it.
in the role, because I'm guessing when you're fried like that, you're not really doing your best and highest thinking ever.
No. So the caregivers need it as well.
That's what I see.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want people to not accept their damaged bodies. I mean,
Yeah.
you can get a lot. Maybe you won't be perfect or the same as you were before. You may be better. You know, in many ways, in many respects, my husband is more of a whole man today than he was before his cancer.
So I want you to leave us with one tip, one piece of advice, especially for people who have gone through chemo and radiation or are about to go through. They're maybe in the middle of their treatments and they're thinking, how do I recover from this? What's one thing you want to share?
I would say commit to your healing. Don't give up on it. Don't think you have to accept it. Commit to it. Open your mind and your heart and your soul to alternative treatments, changing your diet, changing your thought processes, your emotional well-being.
Commit to your healing.
Yes.
Such a beautiful message. Edna Ness is the author of Radical Recovery After Chemo and Radiation. You can find her book on Amazon, but Edna, how else can people track you down?
You can find me at chemoandradiationrecovery.com.
Nice. Chemoandradiationrecovery.com. Thank you so much for sharing this brave message. I can tell you guys There is no other book quite like this one out there. This is information you haven't heard before. If there is someone you know needs this information, please share this video, share the book, and share Edna's message.
Yes, please do. And thank you so much, Angela.
Thank you.